Okay, this video goes along with the Indiana Lesson 7, which is in your student companion, the little thin book, and you'll find those, which you won't have the book, you got it online, and so I'll explain that, how you find that section online. But it's Indiana Lesson 7, and it's talking about finding volume of pyramids. Now, there's two types of pyramids, and I'm going to do two examples. One of them is a square pyramid, where it has a square base, all right, and then we got the point up here, and so then it's got the triangles for the faces for the four sides. And so we're going to find the volume of a square pyramid. So the first thing we always do is we write down the formula. And so for a square pyramid, volume is equal to 1/3 area of the base times the height. So 1/3, and then capital B is area of the base times the height. Now, since the base is a square, all right, so that means then it's like taking the length times the width. So I'm going to go ahead and put L times W, which that is the same thing. That's going to give me the area of the base, which is the capital B. The area of the base is a square, so if I take length times width, 7 times 7, that's going to give me the area of the base. And then we need to take it times the height of our pyramid, which goes from the point straight down to the center of the base, which in this case is 8 feet. So now this is what my formula looks like. And so I'm going to fill in my values. So it'll be 1/3, and then the length is 7, the width is 7, and the height then is 8. And so now I've got my numbers in. I can do my multiplication. The volume equals 1/3 of 49 then. 7 times 7 is 49 times 8. And then that means the volume then is taking 1/3 times, if I take 49 times 8, I get 392. And then I can take 1/3 of 392, which is the same thing as taking 392 divided by 3, which is the same thing as multiplying by 1/3. So if I take 392 and I divide it by 3, that's the same thing as 1/3 times the 392. And so in doing that, I end up with 130.666 repeating. Now, instead of leaving that repeating, you could write it as 130 and 0.66666. That's the same thing as 2/3. So 130 and 2/3, and that would be inches cubed. And so you could either write it like this with the decimal, or you could write it, since 0.6666 is 2/3, you could write it like that. So this would be then the volume of the square pyramid. So that is one type of problem you're going to deal with. You're going to have square pyramids. Again, write the formula. Since it is a square base, it's going to be, to get the area of the base, that is length times width. And so your formula would look something like that. Plug in your numbers, and then work down the page and finish your problem and find the volume. And so that is one type of problem you're going to have.